Hello Melbourne PC User Group SIG leaders, and welcome to this video where I'm going to show you how to use Google Meet. So what you need to do to use Google Meet is first of all have a web browser open, and Google Meet works in any web browser, whether it's Firefox, whether it's Google Chrome, whether it's Edge, or whatever browser you prefer. So have that open, and I would suggest also to have your browser in private mode. And the reason for this is because we want to make sure that you're using the correct Google account that you've been provided by Melbourne PC User Group. And you may have a private Google account that's already signed into some of your Google services. So the easiest way is to do this in a private browsing window. So if you don't know how to open a private browsing window, the process is pretty much the same in every single browser. In Firefox, you go to the menu with the three bars on the very right hand side of the screen. Click on that and you'll see new private window. So just hit on that and a window will open that looks like this with a purple background. If you're using Chrome, the process is very similar. Click on the menu with the three dots and you'll find the incognito mode that you can choose, and that's the same as the private browsing mode in Firefox. So once you've got that set up, the next thing you need to do in the address bar is to type in the address. So it's meet.google.com. So type that in, hit enter, and then you'll be presented with a page that looks like this. And so you'll see Meet up in the corner, and you'll see the current time, the current date, user meeting code, and you'll see you're not logged in with an account that can start a new meeting. So the first thing that we need to do for yourself as a SIG leader is to fix that. And so the first step is to sign in with the account that you've been provided. So to do that, in the top right hand corner, you'll see the sign in button there. So click on that, and it'll bring up a Google login page that you're probably familiar with, where it says sign in, use your Google account. So the next thing that you need to do is to type in the SIG email address that you've been provided. And so I'm going to use the one for the tech project SIG. So type in tech-projects at melbpc.org.au. And so the one for your SIG is probably a very similar format to this, but it will be in the email that you've received with the initial instructions for using Google Meet. So once you've done that, hit next, and it will then prompt you for your password. And if you don't have the password already, then you do need to contact iHelp to be given the password. Once you've done that, type it in. So I've typed it in, and then hit the blue next button. And that'll then take you to a page that says welcome to your new account. It'll give you a few terms and conditions that you can read through if you wish. And then once you have, just press the blue accept at the bottom. So press that, and then it will prompt you to create a new password for this account, because that password that you've been given by iHelp is only a temporary password. So when you get to this page, you need to create a brand new password. So do that. Make it something that you're going to easily remember. And then once you've done that, hit change password. And obviously I did something wrong there, so I'll try it again. So hit change password, and give it a few seconds, and when the password change has been successful, you'll see a page like this that says protect your account, and you can simply press confirm on the right hand side for that page. And so now that you're logged in with your SIG account, for one thing, if you look in the top right hand corner, instead of seeing sign in, you'll see a button like this that starts with the first letter of the email address for your SIG. So as I said, I'm signed in with Science and Tech Projects, so I've got an S there for Science and Tech Projects. I can see Science and Tech Projects SIG and a few other buttons. And you'll see the other thing that's changed is that it now says join or start a meeting, which means that I can start an impromptu meeting with someone, or I can start a meeting and send the meeting code out to my SIG group and have everyone meet up online through Google Meet. So we'll have a look at some of the different ways that you can do that. So if you just want to start a meeting, just kind of on the spot, then the best way to do that, and you can turn on captions immediately and have that ready to go once you get into the meeting. You can also go to settings, and if you have multiple microphones and speakers, then you can swap between them. If you have multiple video sources, you can swap between them. You can change the resolution between high definition and standard definition, and also the resolution that you receive between high definition, standard definition, one video at a time, or audio only. So depending on the speed of the connection that you have, then you might want to play around with those settings. So when you're happy with everything, then you simply press join now, and the first thing you'll get once you join now and you're the only one in the meeting is this box that gives you the option to add people. So it gives you the option to copy the joining info, which you can then copy and paste into an email. Otherwise, there is an option as well to add other people. So you can click on this, and then you can type in any email address you like. So as an example, I'll type in my club email address, so hugh@melbpc.org.au. And once I've typed it in, I'll get a box like this. It says add recipient, hum@melbpc.org.au. Click on that, and then if I send invite, then I will receive an email at my hum@melbpc address with the meeting link and with all the other details about the meeting. So you could theoretically type in the email addresses of all your SIG attendees, and then they'd each get an email, and then they'd just be able to click on the link. It would open up in their browser, and then they'd go through to the meeting. So send invite when you're happy with that, and then you're in the meeting. You can see that invitation has been sent, and the controls within the meeting are quite simple. So you have over on the left the details about the meeting. So if you click on the up arrow, then you get the name of the meeting, and the joining info being the code, and dial in phone numbers if people are having trouble with their computer audio or computer video, and they can join via telephone. You can also, if you need to copy the info into other emails, you can click on the copy joining info button again. That'll copy it to the clipboard and you can paste it into an email. Going further along this bottom white toolbar, so this button, first button looks like the microphone, turns the microphone on and off. The middle button, the red telephone, that ends the call. So click that when you want to end the meeting. This other button on the right hand side turns the camera on and off. Over here further on the right, so this button turns closed captions on and off. So if I have them turned off, then you'll see that my video has got bigger. If I click it again and turn them on, then this space below the video will appear, and as everyone speaks, it will start to transcribe what's being spoken, and it will appear there. The next button along is the present now, so if I want to present a PowerPoint, or I want to show a web page or something, then I'll press this and I can choose either to show my entire screen. So if you want to show your desktop or how to do something on the computer and you need everyone to see the entire screen, you can choose that option. If you want to simply show a window, then click on a window, and Firefox might prompt you to allow that, and if it does, then you simply first of all have to choose which screen you want to share, and so I'll share my OBS screen where this is being recorded, and I'll press allow on that, and then that'll change and it'll say you are presenting your screen. And then, although you can't see it yourself, everyone else who's in the meeting, if they were in the meeting, then they would see my OBS screen being presented out to them. All I can see is, if I want to do that, then I go into OBS itself and I can see that screen, and everyone will be seeing this that I am showing. So then once you're finished presenting, simply press stop presenting, and it'll go back to a standard view where you can see all the participants in the call. And you'll see now that the closed captioning is appearing, and so everything that I'm speaking about is being transcribed. And so for anyone in the meeting that might be hard of hearing, then this is quite a handy feature, and should help them a lot to follow what's going on and help them out. So once again, you can turn that on and off with this button here at the bottom. Other features that you might want to use during the meeting. So up here at the top right, this first button is for the participants in the meeting. So obviously I'm the only participant at the moment, but if more people joined, then they would fill the screen down there. And you can switch the camera view between those different people. So click on this person, it will swap to that camera view. Click on the next person, it will swap to their camera. So if you want to look at someone specific during the meeting, then you can easily choose that and switch to them. The other feature from this panel is the chat panel. So you can send chat messages to everybody. Just type in the box in the bottom, and then everyone in the meeting will receive that chat. and they can then type back to you. So if they're having any audio problems or any other kind of difficulty, then they can use the chat to communicate. Or if someone is presenting and they want to type in questions and have those questions sitting there for the person to answer at the end, then they can do that, and it makes it a more interactive process for them while someone is presenting. So there are those two features. If you ever want to see your own video and there are other people in the meeting, then you simply click on this very far right button, and that's always your own view. The other feature that you can use is you can actually pin your video or someone else's video. So once you click on them, you'll see this pin comes up, and then that means that that person's video or your video is on the screen at all times. So that's another thing you can do. The other lot of features that I'll show you back down here on this white toolbar. So if you click on the three dots, you'll get more options. So another feature of the meeting, and so you simply click on this button and that will record it for you. It'll save to the Google Drive that is attached to this same account. So if you go to drive.google.com and sign in with this same SIG email address, then you'll get all the recordings in your Google Drive. Another feature is you can change layout. So by default it's on auto. So there's three different views you can use. You can have the sidebar view where the person currently talking is in the main feature of the screen, and other people in the meeting are down in a sidebar. You can have the spotlight view where the person currently talking takes up the whole screen. Or you can have a tiled view where every participant in the meeting has their own little window, and so everyone can see everyone else at the same time, or you can see everyone else at the same time. So they're the three choices you have as far as layout. By default it's on auto, so it'll do whatever it thinks is the most appropriate format for that meeting. Other options, so you can go full screen and completely hide any of the browser toolbars. So that gives you more screen real estate to work with. You can turn captions on or off from here as well. You can go to settings again, and so once again change your microphone and speakers. You can test out your speakers, and you can change your camera, change the resolution, also change the receive resolution. So if you're having connection problems during the meeting or there's buffering or something, then you can drop the resolution up and down. So then just click done once you're done with that. If you are having audio difficulties, or if any of your participants are having audio difficulties, then they can choose this button to use a phone for audio. Pick the country you're in, which should be Australia, and then they can get their phone out, they can dial that number, they can enter that PIN when they're prompted, and then the audio from the meeting will come through on their phone. So they could have their speakers muted, still have the video of the meeting, but hear the audio on their phone. So that might be an option for someone if their speakers aren't working, or if they're finding it hard to hear through the computer and would prefer to use the phone. Okay, so they're the features of the meeting, all the different options that you have to control the meeting, and to present things, to put captions on if you want captions for yourself. So when you turn captions on, it's just for yourself. it isn't for other participants in the meeting. They have to turn them on as well. So everyone has their own free choice about that. Present now. So when you've got a PowerPoint that you want to present, or another web page, or whatever the case may be, use present now. So have another, if you are presenting web pages, have another browser open at the same time and have your web pages ready to go in that browser. And just another reminder, so swapping between participants from up here and chatting to everyone from up here as well. So they're all the features of the interface once you're in the meeting. So once you finish, then it's just a matter of pressing leave call, and once you've done that, then you'll see you left the meeting. You can rejoin the meeting if you made a mistake, or you can return to the home screen to start a different meeting. So if we press return to the home screen, then we go back to the similar Google Meet screen, and we can see join or start a meeting, etc. So the other option with Google Meet, you might have a regular time that your SIG meets, and in fact I'm sure you would do that because I know most SIGs do have regular times. So the way to set that up with Google Meet is to use Google Calendar. So you can get to that by starting a new browser tab and going to calendar.google.com. And if this is the first ever time that you've used Google Calendar with this particular account, then you'll see a welcome message like this about getting the mobile apps. So you can just press got it on that, and you'll see that you're signed into the right Google account for the calendar, because you'll see the Mel PC and Melbourne Computer Club logos at the top of the page on the Google Calendar. So let's say you had a SIG meeting for 9:30 p.m. tonight, just as an example. I'm sure you don't meet that late, but we're just doing a test here. So click on within the calendar and in the spot where you want it, and it'll come up like this. It'll say add title, so we put in SIG meeting as the title. It's today, but you can change it to any day, so just click on that and you get a date picker box, and we're going to make the time 9:30 p.m, but once again you can click on that and get a whole range of different time options. To 10:30 p.m, so it's a 1 hour meeting, so clicking on that will give you options there. So now you can add guests here, so you can type in the email addresses of all your SIG participants. So I'll just put my email address in again. And so put in all your SIG participants there, or if you have a mailing list, then you can simply put in the mailing list as a participant there. Now the next thing, add location or conferencing. So if you click on that, you'll get either a location you can put, or you can add conferencing. So if you click on add conferencing, then it will create a Hangouts meet for you. It'll have the meeting code. You can see you can have up to 250 participants, and if you want, you can put a description as well, so you can say the next meeting of the Science and Tech Projects SIG, Once you've done that, you can press save. If you want to have this as a regular monthly thing, then you can go to more options, and you can see that you can make it repeating. So monthly on the first Monday, or whatever the case may be. And so once you're happy with everything there, then simply press save. And it will ask you, would you like to send invitation emails to Google Calendar guests? So if you press send, then everyone whose emails you put in the notification area will get an email with the Meet link. So that's probably something that you want to do. So press send. That will send out the email, and we can see now that we've got in the calendar the SIG meeting, 9:30 till 10:30 p.m. So if we go back to the Meet screen again, we'll see that we now have the SIG meeting scheduled. So so once you have that set up, then all you need to do is click on it, and it will take you straight into the starting page for the meeting, where you can join, and everything is already set up for you. So hopefully that's given you a bit of an idea of how to set up your Google account first of all, and how to use Google Meet, and some of the features of Google Meet, and also how to schedule a meeting in Google Calendar, which will then come up in Google Meet and make it easy for you to manage your SIG in this environment when we're all required to meet over services like this rather than meeting face to face. So hopefully that's been helpful for you. If you have any further questions, then you can feel free to email me. So you've seen my email address, hugham@meldpc.org.au. So it's hugham@meldpc.org.au, and I'll be happy to answer further questions for you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time.